So first and foremost, this is an informal meeting, so it's important to bear that in mind, because it essentially tells us that they're not going to announce any sort of measures or any concrete proposals today, but indeed they're having important discussions. The first of them is actually on the state of the Eurozone economy at this stage. We heard yesterday from the ECB revising its 2020 GDP forecasts after recognizing that the economy has performed slightly better than what they expected back in June. The ECB revised the forecasts from a contraction of 8.7 now to 8% in 2020. But nonetheless, there's still quite a lot of uncertainty as how the economy will perform in the coming months. And that was the message from Paolo Gentiloni, the Commissioner for Economic Affairs, when he arrived this morning in Berlin. Let's take a look.
Recovery is underway. But we have still a high degree of uncertainty on the level, on the speed of this recovery. So the mission for the Eurogroup and the finance ministers of the Union is very clear. We have to reinstall confidence and strengthen growth.
And then the next important discussion that the ministers will have today is in the afternoon. It's about what they call own resources. So essentially how they can find ways to repay for the 750 billion euros that they want to raise from the markets starting in 2021. And that's where the discussion about digital taxation comes in. Some ministers believe that the EU should have its own EU-wide digital tax, but others are still of the opinion that there should be progress and agreement at the OECD level before the EU decides to do this on its own. Nonetheless, we heard from the French finance minister, very vocal supporter of a EU-wide digital tax, saying that if there's no agreement at the OECD by the end of 2020, then the European Commission should make a proposal at the start of 2021. Let's take a look as well.
The only winners of the economic crisis are the digital giants. I think this is a new reason to accelerate the work we are doing within the OECD to have a fair digital taxation and to have also the implementation of a minimum tax for the corporate tax. We should have, by the beginning of next year, 2021, a European solution for digital taxation. I've been discussing the point with many of my partners, with the Commissioner Paolo Gentiloni. If the OECD fails, it's up to the Eurogroup and up to the European countries to take the lead and to adopt in the first trimester of 2021 a fair and efficient digital taxation.
In the meantime, the race to replace Yves Mersch at the executive board of the ECB has begun this morning as well. We heard from the Dutch finance minister when he arrived in Berlin earlier today, saying that the Netherlands is nominating Frank Elderson, who's currently working at the Dutch Central Bank, to replace Yves Mersch, who ends his mandate in December. There could be some more candidates coming, being announced in the coming days. Then the Eurogroup will have to choose who they decide among themselves, and then that name would still have to be approved by the European Parliament in the coming months. So that, Juliana, is going to be another process for us to monitor in the coming months.